a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your On-Side Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
100 Thieves has recently announced that they will do NFTs for their latest apparel drop, this being the Infinity apparel drop, which will release on April 10th at 12 PST. They announced that they're going to be bidding away 4 of the NFTs that they will have now, and this will be the first time that their company has NFTs. 4 of them now at the price of recording at 1.65 Ethereum, 1.11, 1.11, and 1.23 respectively. They also announced that they would be giving away 4 of these NFTs as there will only be 8 made. They are called the Infinity Gateway, and again, there are only 8 of these made that they decided to do. Again, the first time that they will do NFTs in their company's history, and diving into the game, which involves Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many others.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the On-Side Radio E-Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnSideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
Good morning. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning here at Inter Miami CF Stadium. I, of course, am that man, Kai Chen Chisholm.
Yeah, you are.
You can follow me on Twitter at Samurai Radio, 2 Eyes and Samurai. As always, the producer of all producers, making sure that nothing ever breaks. Sean Stanley is here with me. You can find him on Twitter at Sean_Stanley11. Sean, how has your morning been thus far?
It was okay.
Just okay? Nothing?
Just okay.
An uneventful morning again, essentially.
Yeah, I got cut off. I flicked people off, and it's been a good day.
You got cut off today?
Yeah, by some.
At like 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, I came in a little later today. I was in at 6. So, yeah, I got cut off a couple times. Yeah, yep. The only thing I don't like is that they slow down.
When they cut you off?
You cut me off to go around a truck that is pulling away from you. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, I dislike people highly.
I'm telling you, I want to be like NASCAR. I can bump them, push them into the wall, and keep going.
If it was like that, I think Miami would be such an interesting place.
Miami's almost like that early.
Well, yeah, because
You honk the horn. If you don't get out of the way, you're getting hit.
that's the one thing that I think, and that's why I put on like one of the polls last week, which is, and how I talked about it. I think it was Friday that I talked about it, where ever since I started driving over here, people like these 18-wheelers drive like they're sedans. I've never ever before seen like they truthfully act as if they're sedans driving around, and they are cutting in between lanes, and I've never seen anything like it before. It truthfully is like insane to me. Anyways, we're here today. We have our polls today. Good morning, Troy. How are you? We have a jam-packed day for everybody here at Kai's Corner. We're going to have on Austin Robillard at 10:20. He's the host of Red Card Radio here every Saturday from 11 to 1. We will talk Champions League soccer with him, which is why, if you're questioning, Kai, what the heck are you wearing? First of all, I have my Bayern Munich scarves because Bayern Munich play in the Champions League today. So, I have my Miami München one, which is the fan club I'm a part of here in Miami. And then I have my one from their 120th anniversary year. And then, of course, I brought my flag. I'm in a full Bayern Munich mode today, and I will be hanging my flag up at my job. I will be wearing my scarves. I will be having lots of fun today enjoying myself as my Bayern Munich fandom. If PSG destroy Bayern today, which shouldn't happen, but if it does happen randomly, I will cry on Twitter. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, we have that at 10:20. So just in a little bit here. And then at 10:40, we'll have our Royal Wednesday with Royal Shepherd. We'll talk about the Miami Heat with him. I'm interested to see what he thinks just in general about the Heat. And then, of course, the recent loss that they had last night against the Grizzlies. Miami went 0-3 yesterday, too. Marlins, Panthers, and Heat all losing. So horrible. And then at 11:20, we'll talk with Josh Houts. We'll talk about the Dolphins with him, and then we'll also talk with him about Borussia Dortmund because they're his favorite team, the Bayern Munich rivals here. And I'm interested to see what he thinks about yesterday's game because wait, Sean, did you watch it yesterday? I remember I tweeted at you, and I was like, you see, this is why I said that this game would be something good.
Well, what had happened was I went to look for it, and I couldn't find it.
Oh, really? Where were you looking?
CBS.
Oh, it should have been there. Paramount Plus? Should have been there.
No, CBS on TV.
Oh, yeah, no, probably not going to be there.
Yeah, and their sister channels all over CBS network there.
Yeah, like tuned in and stuff
I'm not
like
going to
that.
pay for Paramount Plus. I'm sorry to tell you right now.
No, I wouldn't.
I have no reason to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, I pay for it not only for the Champions League soccer. They have like Nickelodeon stuff on there, so I like to look back at like shows I watched as a kid.
I need to check my X1 and see if maybe I get Paramount for free. I got to double check that.
I
get Peacock free.
I don't think you get X1 for free, but you might get HBO Max if you have HBO.
I get X1. I get X1.
No, sorry,
free.
not. I meant to say Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I get HBO Max. I got that, and I got Peacock right now.
Yeah, because I didn't get
Which is great for me because WWE Network. I got it for free, you fools.
I didn't get Paramount Plus for free. I pay for it, so
Fool.
maybe we'll see what happens. But yeah,
give me your login. I'll watch it.
I don't give anyone my login. I don't even think my dad. I offered it to my dad, and he was like, no, because my dad would pay for Netflix and everything, and then recently I've been paying for a lot of different things, and I've been like, oh, do you want this? Do you want that? And he's like, no, just let me get the Disney Plus one. So he has my Disney Plus login because he watches that with like my step niece. Yeah, stepsisters, child, step niece. Yeah, that feels like that would be the correct wording there. So that's how that situation would go. Troy saying Heat pissed me off with that performance yesterday. Just when we think they've turned the corner, they lay an egg against an inferior opponent. Yep, that's why I asked in the chat, or that's why I put in the poll for today. We'll go through the polls right now. That's why I put in one of the polls today. It says, how long would it take you to reach Royal, as in Royal Shepherd, level anger towards the Miami Heat? That's why I put that in there, and you can find the link there if you didn't already have it if you're watching on YouTube. It says, I'll never reach that level, LOL. Another stupid loss, or I'm already there. And right now, I'll never reach that level is at the lead. So I think Royal is at that level of just pure hatred. But we'll see what he has to say about everything.
What can you hate? They've delivered championships. Come on, Royal. I love you, man, but come on.
Not hatred, but I'm pretty sure that Royal himself has to be a little upset with what's going on, Because Royal is always the
they
bearer
overachieved
of
last year, and now you're seeing more of probably what they probably would have been last year if everything wasn't in a bubble. It was perfect storm for the Miami Heat culture and team to all be in a bubble, and all you had to worry about was basketball.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, you have to let people be able to be upset in certain points,
No, you don't. You really don't have to let them be upset. Social media has allowed everybody to be upset and have an opinion.
I was really waiting for you to come back like that with the no. I wanted to. So before we, this is just going to be kind of the intro because we have a lot that we're going to talk about today, and we'll get with everything. Don't worry, we're going to get to every point that we possibly can. However, I wanted to ask, Sean, the WWE Hall of Fame was yesterday where they did everything.
Yep.
I have to ask because I guess maybe I definitely missed some things and I couldn't, I didn't see much. But John Bradshaw, Layfield, gets in, right? British Bulldog, Thunder gets in as well. NWO, the Bella Twins. William Shatner got in.
Yeah, celebrity wing. The celebrity wing.
And then the one I was going to ask is the Warrior Award. I was going to ask that for Titus O'Neil because I never saw like Titus O'Neil as like this big, great like wrestler. Was it like, did he get inducted into the Hall of Fame or was it just an award
it's
that
an
he got?
Warrior Award that they give out to just somebody that's distributed great character. It usually goes to, somebody that's been battling like a illness or
okay.
in the past. And actually, you know what? No, I'm thinking of the Connors. The Warrior, just Ultimate Warrior. He always resembled. He passed away like the day after he was brought into the Hall of Fame. Believe it or not, actually the Tuesday after he was inducted to the Hall of Fame, he appeared on Raw. That Tuesday, he had a heart attack at the hotel and passed away. So they brought the Warrior Award in. And again, those that don't know Titus O'Neil, he played for the Florida Gators.
Yes, he did.
Bullard is his real last name. And what he does in the Tampa area is amazing. He's involved, I think, in almost every community effort that they have there. And that's what he got the award for. And that's why he's also hosting WrestleMania, because he pretty much embodies what Tampa is.
Right. Yeah, because I hadn't really seen much, and then I like saw that, and I was like, I like Titus O'Neil. He's a Gator, but like, did he really ever do much to be a Hall of Famer? I was really confused, and I never saw any like
the
clarity.
one thing he's remembered for the most, and if you look it up on YouTube, in Iraq when they did, or in Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry, when they did the tours over there, he was in a Royal Rumble type match, and he was running down to the ring, and he tripped, and he slid right under the ring. And that's the one thing he's remembered the most for.
Oh man. Well then you have the other ones. Molly Holly got in, Eric Bischoff, Kane got in, the Great Khali, and then Rob Van Dam, and then Ozzy Osbourne as well.
Another celebrity wing. You have to remember they had 2020 class and the 2021 because of none last year. So two celebrities were in, Ozzy Osbourne and William Shatner.
Man. It was a stacked class because I was watching it and I was just like, okay, I was getting really confused. My non-watching the WWE as of late got me extremely confused with everything that was happening. But
yeah, and the British Bulldog also got in.
Yes, yeah, I mentioned that a little bit.
They just, I'm sorry.
But it's I think things are. It was very interesting. Like Layfield definitely. I think like in terms of what I was able to watch, the British Bulldog obviously, the NWO as a group. I obviously they needed to get in as well. The Bella Twins was one where I was like, that one, they were for a while like a staple of like the women's, because they don't call it the Divas anymore, right? Because it was like that got completely scrapped.
Yeah, Divas was dropped.
Yeah, so they were like a big part of that for a long time. I remember it was them.
And then also the crossover they did, the fact that they were able to do a show, and bring kind of wrestling into the mainstream in that eye.
Oh my, there were so many. It was like them. There was the
same
one
thing with Great Khali. When you look at his in-ring, you look at it and kind of like, but what he's done for WWE and wrestling in India, now he becomes a Hall of Famer.
Well, he was just always, every single time that you saw, or at least that I saw the Great Khali come in, and it was like, all right, something's going to happen where they're going to just make it be like something crazy, and then maybe he'll get a win, and then eventually it'll go away. But like, it was always something was going to happen. Like, I remember, I think it was the Royal Rumble, when he was like kissed by, I can't remember her name right now.
Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix. I'm thinking of someone else for a different thing. And then he got like pushed over. It's like some of those things where it's just like he always came in for something.
He did a lot of the comedy stuff further along in his career. When he first came in, remember, he was battling Undertaker, and he beat Undertaker in a Punjabi death match. And then he fought Randy Orton and some others. He was getting good pushes. He actually became the champion. Yeah. At the end, he was more comedy. And that's what a lot of people remember him for.
I think Kane has got to be like the highlight, besides the British Bulldog, right? It's got to be like the highlight of the class. You think him and like Bischoff maybe, because Bischoff was there for quite some time.
I think NWO.
Well,
is the highlight.
But I guess like as an individual, you know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess individually, yeah. I mean, Bischoff definitely, just because of what he meant to the competition of the business.
Right.
The British Bulldog, he was everywhere and everything, from a tag team wrestler with the Dynamite Kid to become what he did as a singles competitor, teaming with Owen Hart and the Hart Foundation and all that stuff there. Yeah, no, I think they had to be the tops of the class single wise.
Yeah, I always liked watching Kane. Like that was something that I whatever I would watch.
I was just happy he finally
loved him.
found something that worked for him, because the problem was they didn't know what to do with him.
They were changing him consistently.
He was a dentist. He was everything else. I mean,
there was the times where he couldn't show his face because it was the whole the thing with him and Undertaker. Our family burned.
they forget
down
too.
in a
He was the
house
fake Diesel too.
Yeah, he did everything. Didn't he do also at one point like fake Undertaker as well at one point?
No, that was
Or
somebody
like
else.
okay, or there was like a fake Kane as well at one point. Then he was like the yes and no with Daniel Bryan.
No, I mean he did that, but that was his Kane as well.
Right? Yeah.
Before, if you went back and you looked at all of the gimmicks that they tried to start him with, he came in to feud with Bret Hart as Jerry Lawler's dentist, Dr. Isaac Yankem. He's done the Unabomber gimmick, which is what he came to the WWE as. He kind of had like the Jason mask. He was big, almost like the Sid Vicious type character, and they just didn't know what to do with him for a while. And then he lucked into doing the Kane gimmick, and then it's history from there.
Yeah, he was. I always loved watching him. Like him and Taker, in terms of like wrestling, were always the ones that I enjoyed watching and stuff like that. But of course, as I've stated so many times, I'm a huge CM Punk guy. So, I enjoy the talkers and everything like that. So that's what I was in. Coming up, we're going to have on Austin Robillard. We'll talk UCL with him as well as Inter Miami. And then I will also ask him why he thinks the Premier League is good, because the Premier League sucks. Sundays, OnsideRadio.com continues to provide you the kind of sports talk South Florida fans desire. Every Sunday at 7 a.m., tune into the Sunday Sports Drop with Jazz Santana. Catch Jazz every week as he takes your calls, discusses the biggest stories in sports. That's the Sunday Sports Drop, 7 to 9 a.m., exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
If you missed Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report sponsored by EJDconstruction.com today, you missed this.
They put themselves in position to get probably the identical caliber player, if not the identical player. They were going to select a 3. They're going to get that player at 6. But to do so, they gave up the equivalent of 740 points, which is basically the 43rd pick in the second round. So to get a first in this, to get an extra first in this trade, you gave up a second. So ultimately, you walk away with the value of a second-round pick ahead.
Omar Kelly and the Miami Dolphins report, brought to you by EJD Construction. Count on a company that's an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. EJDconstruction.com.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Welcome back to Kai's Corner. To reach out to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Back to Kai's Corner.
All right, we're going to have on Austin Robillard now. You can find him on Twitter at Austin Robillard, where he is the biggest fanboy of the Premier League I've ever seen in my entire life. And of course, he hosts Red Card Radio. Obviously, jokes. He hosts Red Card Radio here every Saturday from 11 to 1. Austin, you Premier League fanboy, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, Kai. Listen, I'll that was a good introduction. I liked it. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited for this.
It is a great introduction, because you're the biggest Premier League fanboy that I ran into. Everyone else at least could go back and forth, and you were just like, Premier League's the greatest thing in the world, and
did those words ever come out of my mouth or in one of my tweets? I don't think so.
Of course, 100%. I read that it's a good league, and what it really read was, this is the greatest league in the world. Kai, shut up. You don't know anything about soccer. That's what I read. I don't know.
Oh, I probably said the second part, but I don't know about the first part.
Oh, man. What's the reason? So, okay, I want to get your reaction to kind of how I was saying that I don't think that the Premier League sucks. I just don't think it's the greatest thing in the world like some people make it out to be. What was your kind of initial reaction with that?
Well, a lot of it comes down to personal preference, in my opinion. And when what you did is you pointed out the stats and their, ability to win, English team's ability to win on a, European level, and it's not been there. And the stats don't show that, and that's something you really cannot argue. It's the English, like Man City, falling out this year in the Premier League. We are worried about them winning the Champions League every single year. Like, it happens time and time again, and for a league that you want to say is the best in the world, you would expect them to have continental success outside of their domestic league, and it doesn't show as much as you would like it to with Premier League teams. So I still personally enjoy watching the Premier League more than any other league, but also it's because that's where my favorite club is, and it's what I keep up with the most, and it's the style of football that I like. The Serie A is enticing, but obviously Italian football differs way greatly than, English football, and you can say it goes for all leagues. And I don't think you could argue that there are leagues deeper than the Premier League in terms of talent, all the way from 1 to 20 or 1 to 18, depending on what league you're in. But in terms of the top level quality, you cannot argue that Bayern Munich is the best team in the world, and they have been for the last 12, 15 months. And now are in the Bundesliga, not in the Premier League. So it goes back and forth there. But in terms of personal preference for me, I like watching Premier League football more than I like watching other leagues.
Yeah, and of course, I was just kind of saying it because it was just coming down to everything. I was sitting there that Saturday, and the thing I saw was, I think it was, I misquoted it yesterday on Dono's. I believe, and correct me, it was West Brom versus Chelsea, correct? That game that was on. Yeah. So someone was watching it, and I saw 3 straight tweets that said, this is why the Premier League's the best league in the world. And I instantly was I got so frustrated because I was sitting there to myself, this happens in every single league, right? I was just I couldn't believe that this was being, set out this is why it's the best. I think the quality of football is amazing in the Premier League, as I think it has been this year in Serie A. I think in the Bundesliga this year it's been very good as well, especially some of the top table matchups, but not to the level that some of the people were trying to go out on that. I want to ask you now about Inter Miami. We're getting closer and closer onto the season now. Things are starting to finally see they're going to come through. Of course, I know on Saturday you mentioned how, they weren't able to have really any of a preseason because of a lot of COVID issues. What are your expectations for Inter this season?
Man, I have higher expectations than some of the MLS writers. Toast asked me about it, and there are predictions all over the place, from Jorge Mas saying third place in the East to this guy Charles something from MLS saying we're going to finish second to last in the East. It's all over the place, and at least at this season, we don't have these crazy high expectations like we did last season. So you're able to manage those expectations, and you might not be as let down as you were before. But personally, I'm thinking a playoff spot, 6th, 5th in the East, sneaking in there around the end. And by then, hopefully the team is rounded up enough to where you can make a deep playoff run, but you never really know. It's MLS. It's one leg thing. It gets crazy. So you never know what can happen. But throughout the season, the 34 games, I'm expecting a playoff spot. I think this roster has improved greatly from the starting 11 to the depth. They've added a lot of key pieces. I'm getting behind Phil Neville. I think Chris Henderson has made the right moves. it just seems like there's a lot more commitment from the guys in charge this season than there was in the prior season. And the communal effort, it seems like it's there. They're talking with each other. They're there at the facilities every day, and it's not something we saw last year. So I think that that's going to help a lot, and I think that the players now that we have, they will prove to be a better starting 11 and better quality than we had last season. So playoff spot in the East. Not sure how much farther after that. I would expect some sort of playoff run, but not too sure. As long as it's a good regular season, they hit the playoffs, I'll be happy.
Well, they're 11 days now from their first official game of the MLS season. That one going to be against the Galaxy. Are you going to be excited? I mean, this is going to be starting off the season here at home at this beautiful stadium. But the first question is, are you going to be here? I believe there's something that we both might be here, but I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, so I don't want to really comment on that. But are you planning on potentially being here for that game, and how do you feel like the atmosphere is going to be at that game?
Oh, I plan to be at every single game, Kai, because you know how I am with this club.
Correct.
It is my one true love, and I plan to be at every game in any way possible. As long as I can get there, I'm there. It doesn't matter how I do it. And I think a lot of fans feel the same way. And, you know, with vaccinations rolling out now throughout the state, they're still expecting, I think, to have a full stadium by sometime in the middle or end of May after all after a bunch of the population is vaccinated and all these kinds of things. So I am very excited. Taking on the Galaxy, you know, that's a big club, you know, one of their main markets, and we were supposed to have that as our home opener last season. That was taken away from us, and to finally have it now in Miami, LA Galaxy, prime time, here at our beautiful stadium, which luckily you're sitting at. I'm not. I wish I could be. But, man, I'm excited, and I plan to be there, and I plan to be rooting it on. And I think the fans, the atmosphere, like, it's going to be nuts. And I think last year, even with the limited capacity, there was still an atmosphere in Inter Miami CF Stadium. With 2,000, 3,000 people, there was an atmosphere. And if those numbers keep going up, not that I will say permanently that Inter Miami CF Stadium will be a fortress, but I know these fans are passionate and they can turn it into something special.
Okay, I want to ask you now about today's Champions League games. No one cares about Porto-Chelsea. That's going to suck. No one cares about that game at all.
I don't think that that's true. But
I know. Well, who do you have going through there? I think that it's a wash. Like, either of them could go through. I think that that's one that could be interesting. Like, yesterday I preached for, like, I'd have to say, like, 8 minutes straight about how I think that City and Dortmund could be a good matchup. Like, it could be a sneaky good game. And it should be 2-2 right now. But, of course, referees don't have eyes. So, like, it should be 2-2 right now in that game going into the next leg. But that's another game I think, like, this matchup should be good, but I also think either team could go through. Who do you expect to go through in the Porto-Chelsea?
I expect Chelsea to go through, but I'm not ruling out Porto by any means. I think that they have a really, really strong squad, well-rounded. Sergio Oliveira is missing this game because of suspension, which is unfortunate. But if they can hold out and, you know, maybe keep the game close by one goal, whether they win it or lose it, and Oliveira comes back, I think he's such a influential midfielder, especially for this team, and we saw it in the Juve tie. If we could see that again in the second leg and they can hold close in the first, I'm not ruling them out at all.
So you think that you expect Chelsea to go through, but it's kind of that same thing. Like, that's kind of how I felt with the Dortmund City thing. It's like, you know, you expect City to go through, but I was sitting here kind of saying, like, you know, listen, it's not a guarantee, but if there's a chance, that could be a game where, you know, Pep and City are going to have to kind of reel back and deal with some things. And so I think that was another one that was pretty good.
It was a 90th minute. It was a 90th minute winner by Phil Foden.
Yeah, exactly.
It was all the way down to the end. Jude Bell, like, that goal, that should have been a goal from Bellingham. But
in those situations, Austin, do you agree that in that specific situation, like, that's why we have VAR? You let it go, you let the goal go in, and then you let it go back to VAR. Like, that was one of the worst mistakes that I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, the referee is full of himself. To actually stop playing that situation when Bellingham has the ball in the middle of the box by himself, nobody in front of him, for the referee to put the whistle, he ruled out the possibility of using him in that situation because play stops. And technically, you don't know what could happen after that. So if the ref blows the whistle dead, the game's dead, you can't do anything about it. So the referee, huge mistake. The play shouldn't have went on. And if anything, I would rather have them gone to VAR and called it a foul than have the referee with his own two eyes called it a foul when he clearly had no idea what the play was.
Yeah, I found that ridiculous. We only have a little bit left here. I want to ask you, PSG Bayern, as quickly as you can say it, what do you think is the score over 2 legs? Austin? Do I still have you with me, Austin?
Simple as that.
Oh, what'd you say? Sorry, it cut out. What'd you say about it?
Oh, I was saying 5-3 Bayern. I think we'll get a couple of goals here. But I think the midfield 5-3 Bayern over 2 legs. I think Kimmich and Goretzka are going to dominate Idrissa Gueye and whoever else they put next to him. So without Verratti, they're screwed.
Damn. I look, you have more. I think it's going to be like a 2. Well, my official prediction was 2-1. I'm starting to lean a little bit different on it. But my official prediction over 2 legs was 2-1. Because I feel like maybe there could be something, especially without Lewandowski, Icardi out, and as you said, Verratti out. So I thought it could be interesting, especially since over the that first 90 at Lisbon, or the only 90 at Lisbon, it was super tight. So I thought maybe a 2-1, but 5-3 I could see it. Listen, the last time that we played PSG over 2 legs, they destroyed us 3-0 at the Parc des Princes. So as long as that doesn't happen, I'll be happy. So I'm going to be wearing my scarves and doing my thing. Austin, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I am talking to you about soccer as well, since we've been trying so very hard to do so. I miss cross-talking with you on Saturdays. I don't miss, having my Saturdays here, but I miss cross-talking with you on Saturdays. But thank you so much for coming on. Again, you can follow Austin on Twitter at Austin Robillard. Thank you so much, man. Have a great rest of your day.
Appreciate it, man. Look forward to doing this again. Have a good one.
Of course. You too. Love talking with Austin. We're going to have on Royal Shepherd here as well, coming up pretty soon at 10:40. We'll talk to him about some basketball. Back-to-back interviews here, but it's going to be our Royal Wednesday here at Kai's Corner. So we had to make sure to get that. I wanted to talk to Austin, and then I wanted to talk to Josh Houts as well. You're listening to the only locally owned sports station in South Florida. You're listening to OnSideRadio.com.
Now streaming online.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Parents, we know we can't protect our kids from everything. Eventually, they're going to bump their heads or scrape their knees. But we can protect them from 6 types of cancer. HPV, or human papillomavirus, is a common, preventable virus that can cause cancer later in life. The HPV vaccine prevents human papillomavirus and all the cancers it can cause. The American Cancer Society recommends getting your sons and daughters the HPV vaccine starting at age 9 to protect them later in life.
Download the radio.net app so you can listen to OnSideRadio.com everywhere you go.
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnsideRadio.com sports update.
A bunch of losing going on down here in South Florida sports. The Heat last night fell to the Grizzlies 124-112. Jimmy Butler's 28 points, not enough. Their next game at the AAA, taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. The Florida Panthers, they fell to the Carolina Hurricanes 5-2. Alexander Barkov had 2 goals. And that pain in the ass, Vincent Trocheck, had a goal and an assist. They're back on the ice against each other Thursday night. And the Miami Marlins, they dropped another one to the Cardinals 4-2 this time. The Fish, they're back at it today. Afternoon game, 4:05 p.m. Pablo Lopez taking the mound. This is South Florida's home for local sports talk. This is OnsideRadio.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right, we're back here. We're going to have on Royal Shepherd for our Royal Wednesdays. Usually we don't do some back-to-back stuff here. We tend to not have 3, but I had to have on Austin today. I had to have on Royal. And then I wanted to talk with Howard. So here we are. We're doing back-to-back. You can follow Royal on Twitter at Royal A. Shepherd. That's SHEPHERD. Royal, how are you doing?
I am not doing well, Kai Chen Chisholm.
That's why I include you as the premier name in my poll today, saying how long would it take you to reach Royal level anger towards the Miami Heat? What are your thoughts, Royal? What are your thoughts?
So tonight was a terrible showing of effort from Miami. We have seen the team kind of like take its next step towards becoming elite defensively, and last night felt like they took a gigantic step backwards. The offense wasn't necessarily the problem. We scored well, we shot pretty well, but we just were not containing those corner three-pointers. It seemed like we gave up a ton of corner threes by trying to trap Ja Morant, and essentially we needed to change up what we were doing, and we didn't do that, and it bit us in the tail last night. Dylan Brooks going for 28-23 in the third quarter. There's absolutely no excuse for that. Dylan Brooks is a solid player, but not 23 points in a quarter solid, giving up 17 or 13, however many points we gave up to Jonas Valanciunas in the first quarter. There are issues that we have on this team that now that we're post-trade deadline, this is the team that we have. And so these are issues that we're going to have to fix internally, and we can't look for help outside. And it was a bit worrisome to look at last night, Kyle.
So how are you on your anger level, though? Are you like if I had to give you a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself right now?
So I'm coming down off of the high of grabbing Victor Oladipo and a 4-game win streak. So I'm trending towards more angry, but I'm still relatively positive. It's one game. I'm trying to keep it in perspective. So this is a light day, so I'm going to say I'm about a 6, Kai. About a 6 on anger. But another game, this could kick up to about a 9 if we have a poor outing against the Lakers.
You're that high right now, Royal? You're at a 6?
Well, 6 is in terms of anger. Yeah, as me being angry, 6 is where I am. I don't like the way we played. Like a regular loss, I would probably be about a 3 or 4. But the effort that I saw last night was concerning, and there were clear holes. Like Trevor Ariza didn't move well last night. Goran Dragic didn't move well, and that's been a reoccurring trend in the season. So that is starting to anger me a little bit because we have Kendrick Nunn sitting on the bench, and I'm trying to figure out if he's healthy, why is he not getting minutes? there was an obvious need for him to replace Goran Dragic in that game last night, and we did not see it. So that made me a little bit angry. So 6 is right where I'm at, Kyle.
All right. I mean, I guess I could understand. I don't think I would put myself at that level. But again, I don't think I'm also as entrenched in, being there and being so angry about the Heat. And if it was the Dolphins, I think it would be a similar situation, of course. But I don't think I'm at that level yet for the Heat. Not like when they were losing so many in a row. What needs to change right now, Royal? It's the same roster. And as you said, we thought things were getting better. I mean, it isn't even we thought. We were seeing things getting better defensively. And especially adding in Victor, everything was getting much, much better. You could see him gelling defensively, and that without even practicing yet. Of course, offensively, it was going to come, and we're hoping it's going to come still. Why is it that they're playing down to competition like it was last night?
That seems to be the team's MO for the entire season. They play up the competition and they play down to it. In terms of Vic, he actually did get his first practice in before this Memphis game. I think the one thing that the effort level needs to be consistent, and that's all that needs to change. I think schematically we're fine. We've shown that Vic's insertion on the defensive end of the ball is going to be a plus for us. His offense, I'm still on the train that it will come around eventually. The concerning part is Goran Dragic, because he plays such an important role on this team for me. So I think that's the main piece that might need to turn things around in order for this team to begin to look like what a lot of fans hope that they can be, which is somebody who can potentially contend in the Eastern Conference. So if Goran Dragic starts to round his game into form, then the team will start to look a little bit better. But I believe Vic's natural progression will come. I believe that the effort on defense will become more consistent as the season goes on and everybody gets more comfortable in the schemes, particularly Victor, Trevor, and Bielitsa. And so I think the team will trend in the right direction eventually, but the effort has to be consistent, and it has to be there night in and night out, because we're not talented enough to coast in games against teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, who's one of the top 10 defensive teams in the league.
Okay, a follow-up to that to try to get onto some positivity instead of some negativity there. Earlier on this week, I had put up a poll in which young player is going to be last one standing for the Miami Heat, in Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, or Kendrick Nunn. Your pick for the last man standing to be on the Miami Heat is?
Is this my preference, or is this who I actually believe will be here longest?
Who you actually believe will be here longest. And then your preference. So let's get that one and then the preference.
So Tyler Hero is going to be here the longest. He's on both Kendrick Nunn and Duncan Robinson are free agents at the end of the season. Duncan Robinson is going to command north of $18 million with his resurgence after the trade deadline. And Kendrick Nunn is going to get about $9-10 million, but as you see, we're not playing him. Victor Oladipo's already taken that role, so we'll probably end up letting him walk. Tyler Hero's on the cost-control contract. We can keep him here for another 5-6 years at a reasonable number. So I believe that he is the one that is going to most likely be here. The person who I would prefer is Duncan Robinson. I believe Duncan Robinson's impact on the game at this point is greater than Tyler Hero's. And I think for a team built like this, that will continue to be the case well into the future. Tyler Hero, he's a nice young player, but I don't think that Tyler Hero's role is going to be as consistent here as maybe he or Heat fans would like in the future.
So you think that it's just going to be I mean, I guess obviously because of the contract, it's an easier thing, but you think Tyler for sure is just going to be the guy, and it's just based off of, adding in the contract and the fact that at least he's going to be able to be a piece, and at least GMs around the league and even our own, and, Pat Riley value who he could potentially be.
Yeah, so that's the reason why he's going to end up staying, because Tyler has the potential to be a better player than Duncan Robinson. It's not just the contract. It's the different things that he can bring to the game. He adds rebounding. He adds a level of playmaking. He adds some kind of shooting, even though the numbers are down this year. But Tyler Hero, the organization believes in Tyler Hero's talent, and therefore they're going to want to invest and continue to have that talent around. They believe in Duncan Robinson's talent too, and I believe the organization loves Duncan, but I believe he's going to price himself outside of what the Heat are able to match this summer. And that's the only reason why I believe he goes. But if I had my choice, I would try and keep Duncan and, probably see what I can do with Tyler elsewhere.
Okay, and then lastly here, I have still not watched any of it, but what are your thoughts thus far? I know you stay up till 3 a.m. to watch it. What are your thoughts thus far on how things have progressed with the Winter Soldier series?
So I've been trying to do my best to kind of like tiptoe around these things without giving out spoilers. But I've been super excited about what they've been doing. They introduced, I'm going to say it, they introduced Madripoor into the MCU, which is huge in several different contexts.
Did you hear Sean?
Yeah,
Did you hear Sean
yell? I heard him. They brought that into the series. That's not new though, Sean. They said that they were going to do it, prior. That was information that was already out.
I'm just kidding. I haven't watched any of it.
Oh, man, I thought Sean really cared because that was a real reaction.
That was a real reaction. I felt so bad for a second, guy. But they brought Madripoor into the MCU, and I think that's humongous in terms of what this means for how the MCU plans on branching out in the future. So I'm really loving what they're doing. It's definitely more action-packed than WandaVision. The storyline is more straightforward, but yeah, I'm loving what they're doing, and I can't wait to see what they do on the episode on Friday.
Are you ready for Loki as well? That's the one that I'm kind of excited for. Like I'm not into the Winter Soldier stuff as I've told you, but the Loki I'm extremely excited for.
I think Loki has kind of developed Tom Hiddleston. He's kind of developed a cult following. He's one of the most entertaining characters in the MCU, and so absolutely, I'm super excited about a show built around him. Just to see how they do that. And they're introducing, I forgot the name of the organization, but it's like the Time Police or something. But they're introducing them into the MCU too, so that's going to be great.
So that's going to have to include like Doctor Strange then in that situation. You're saying like Time Police and stuff. And they have a Doctor Strange show coming as well, don't they? Or is it a movie?
No, it's Doctor Strange is a movie. That's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I think there were rumblings about Wanda Maximoff being the villain in that movie. But the fact that they're introducing the multiverse is also interesting because that's going to be part of the Spider-Man thing. And so what's interesting about the multiverse is that it's giving them an opportunity to bring mutants into the MCU. We know that the X-Men are coming, but having the multiverse as an aspect in the actual universe gives them an avenue to pull them in. It may not be the avenue, but it is one way that they can potentially bring the X-Men over into this universe.
All right, I'm excited. Royal, thank you for coming on. I have to quickly ask here because we have to break. Are you coming on the Extra Yard tonight or no?
Yes, I will be on the Extra Yard tonight.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to hear more of Royal, he'll be joining us on the Extra Yard tonight at 5 Reasons to talk about the Miami Dolphins. You can follow him on Twitter again, at Royal A. Shepherd. That's at Royal A. SHEPHERD. Royal, thank you so much for coming on, man, and I will talk to you later today.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Kai Chisholm.
Of course. All right, we're going to round off hour one in the next segment, and then we'll bring hour two on, and then we'll have Josh Houts on as well. Quickly want to say Troy Ortiz saying you're at an 8 with that performance. That's pretty high. Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m., baseball fans can go deep into the count with Alex Aguirre and Christian Chase. Catch a show that talks Marlins and all the big stories in the major leagues. Every Saturday from 1 to 3 p.m., Steamheads have a new home. Listen to Deep Into the Count exclusively at OnsideRadio.com.
Onside Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
I'm 54, so basically, it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Well, right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around. Plus, with the way this year's been going...
Hey, listen, it's okay. You still got this. Just go to aceyourretirement.org. It's an online tool from AARP that can help you get your retirement savings on track no matter your age. It's free and only takes about 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Yeah, at aceyourretirement.org, you'll chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer a few questions and you'll get a personalized plan and tips to help boost your retirement savings. Tips that are easy to understand and tailored to your lifestyle.
I like that too.
Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Just head to aceyourretirement.org and make your plan to start saving for retirement.
Thanks.
That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dono hosts Man of the Match, 3 to 6 p.m. Dono covers everything from football to football to MMA. Tune in to one of the most complete sports shows in the country with the Man of the Match with Alex Dono, 3 to 6 p.m. exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
Let's be honest. The National Symphony may not be in his future, but he wanted to try violin. So you said yes because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more about keeping your kids safe in your vehicle at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Show him you love him. Keep him safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Let's get back to Kai's Corner. You can send Kai a text at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm.
All right. Sean, you want to give us the latest scoop that you just said between the break? In the breaking news about former Hurricane and Dolphin.
Yeah, I have a slice of news here.
Okay.
Mark Walton can't go near a Pizza Hut for 6 months. That's part of a plea deal.
That's so ridiculous. It's like, so he was, this is from Andy Slater. It said, this is from February 1st, the first one, which says, former Dolphins running back Mark Walton was arrested at a Pizza Hut in Miami on Sunday night. Walton was trying to break the store's window after he was disrespected on the phone while placing his order. Walton also beat up his cousin outside the Pizza Hut when he tried to get the NFL free agent to leave the area. Paramedics did respond. And then, yeah, he quote tweeted himself this morning, said Mark Walton must stay away from a Miami Pizza Hut for 6 months as a part of a plea deal he accepted on Wednesday morning. Imagine getting like banned from a Pizza Hut.
Imagine getting so upset at a phone call that you're trying to bash in a window.
That's some real
with
Karen
a
level
pizza guy.
stuff. Like
Or a woman. I don't even know. I mean,
but you get that's some real Karen level stuff. Like, you know, all the Karens that they have, which I hate. But my mother's name is Karen, so it sucks.
What are you arguing about? Pepperoni? How disrespectful can you get?
You try to break the glass window there.
How disrespectful does a pizza call get? I said I wanted thick, thin crust. No, we only have pans, sir. Oh, my goodness, you're disrespecting me.
I think the big thing, too, is, like, none of these pizza places are ever, like, super, like, respectful. Like, they answer, like, if it's, like, any of them, even, like, some of the mom and pops, it's like, da-da-da-da, what do you want? What do you want? This? Okay,
They're
cool.
in a hurry. They
like,
got other people
yeah,
calling in.
they're
You're
trying
not the
to
only
get you
customer.
through. It's not like a respect. Although I will say, and this is a shot directly at Pizza Point, every time that I used to get Pizza Point, that was bad.
Here goes now. Somebody's got to make a direct shot now.
That I have to say was bad. Pizza Point's customer service is not that good. The pizza's not really great either, but
what do you expect their customer service to be?
Well, it's the guy that answers the phone usually is quite rude. That I have to admit.
Because he's got to get you on the phone and off the phone in less than a minute so you can get to the next caller that wants their pizza just as quickly as you do.
When I call Steve's or Andiamo's or Mama Jenny's or Evio's, they're all very polite and quick. You know?
Answer, good afternoon, Kai Chin Chisholm. Thank you for calling.
I know that you host Kai's Corner every day.
How would you like your pizza done today? Would that be 3 slices of pepperoni per slice?
A large pepperoni pizza.
How much pepperoni would you like?
As much as I can possibly get.
And would you like a hint of mozzarella or a twist of sauce?
A hint of mozzarella?
Would you like some garlic spreaded along your crust?
Do you like that? I don't like the garlic crust.
I can't. That's why I never order Pizza Hut or Domino's.
Domino's sucks. Like
Dude, if I get pizza, I want pizza. Just give me the bread.
But that's the thing, right? Like I think so many people are one of my best friends, Lewis, he loves Domino's, and for the life of me, I will never understand why. Like, he loves Domino's more than every other pizza spot that could possibly exist.
I gotta question your friends.
I question him all the time.
No, you're having him as a friend. I gotta question.
I've been best friends with him since 7th grade, and he's an interesting human being, Sean. He will, no lie, Sean, and this isn't, Lewis, I know you're going to be listening to. This isn't, like, he will get Dunkin' Donuts coffee. He'll get something he's never tried before that he says to us that he'll think is going to be bad. He'll buy it anyways. He'll come to work. He'll take 2 sips of it, and then he'll throw it away, and then drive to Starbucks, and then do the same exact thing and get something new that he might not have gotten, and then not like it again. And his girlfriend's a barista at Starbucks. So his girlfriend had texted the two of us and was like, hey, I know you guys drink A. You guys should get this. It was like a shaken espresso with cold foam. He went on to get like more than he needed to get, and he didn't like it. I got it as exactly as she said. Reminder, a Starbucks barista. Mine was perfect. Perfect. I don't understand. He's an interesting human being, you know? Interesting human being.
I can't believe he threw the Dunkin' away.
It's every time he'll get, and he knows it too. He'll get like a mocha something. Like I got like the iced caramel macchiato today from Dunkin'. And it's pretty good. It tastes exactly like the one from Starbucks. I have to say, I have to admit.
And about $30 cheaper.
Oh yeah, way cheaper. It was like $3, and it's a medium too. I don't like the larges; those are way too big. The Dunkin' large coffees, those are huge.
What are you talking about, man?
That's way too much coffee.
Go big or go home, buddy.
No, that's way too much. Can't do it.
What?
You see how big those things are, Sean.
Yes, I drink 2 of them a day.
Of Dunkin' coffee?
Yeah, I do the frozen coffee, so.
Oh, my, Sean. You're running on, like, caffeine like crazy.
Yeah, that's what keeps me going. I mean, what else would keep me going?
Ooh, a comment from Troy here says, if you're ever out in West Kendall, try Mike's Pizzeria. I feel like I know what that is. Anyways, we do have to break. I feel like I've heard of Mike's Pizzeria before, but I will definitely try it out. There's a couple other pizza places I like. Anyways, we're going to talk with House in the second hour. This has been the first hour of Kai's Corner. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Catch Sean Stanley as he hosts the Square Circle Digest. Now wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, onsiteradio.com.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. Stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the flagship station of Inter Miami CF, OnsideRadio.com. Follow us on social media at Onside Radio.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
OnsideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count, suckers?
here's your Onside Radio E-Report with Kai Chen Chisholm.
100 Thieves has recently announced that they will do NFTs for their latest apparel drop, this being the Infinity apparel drop, which will release on April 10th at 12 PST. They announced that they're going to be bidding away 4 of the NFTs that they will have now, and this will be the first time that their company has NFTs. 4 of them now at the price of recording at 1.65 Ethereum, 1.11, 1.11, and 1.23 respectively. They also announced that they would be giving away 4 of these NFTs as there will only be 8 made. They are called the Infinity Gateway, and again, there are only 8 of these made that they decided to do. Again, the first time that they will do NFTs in their company's history, and diving into the game, which involves Ethereum, Bitcoin, and many others.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the Onside Radio E-Report. It's time for Kai's Corner on OnsideRadio.com. To talk to Kai, dial 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. To reach out on the text line, it's 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Here's Kai Chen Chisholm on your home for sports talk, OnsideRadio.com.
Hour 2. I just saw a picture pop up on my my Twitter from FIU's College of Arts, Sciences, and Education, where they put up a picture of someone. It goes on to say it's like the AAMC today, the Association of American Medical Colleges, has recognized FIU as the top university in the nation to supply Hispanic, Latino, or Spanish origin applicants to U.S. medical schools in the 2020-2021 academic year. Love that for FIU. I'm very proud. But sometimes I'm proud to be a Golden Panther. At this moment, I'm proud to be a Golden Panther. But it was a picture that they have up of a girl laying in a hammock between 2 trees. And I have to say, if I ever did that on any campus at FIU, or anyone that I knew did that, especially at the Biscayne Bay campus, no shot that would be allowed. Someone would come over and they'd be like, "You're disturbing the peace." So that, you know what? It's a fake news picture right there.
Did you like the horny hiring?
You know, we got so much crap in the in one of the 5R chats the one specifically regarding college football. It's really the Miami Hurricanes is what they talk about in it, and it's all the guys there. They called it Canes Appreciation. Manny Chang, who does a lot of stuff for 5 Reasons, because we were commenting on it. He goes in and he's like, he called us children because everyone was talking about Casey Horney being hired. What are you pointing at now? What is it that you're...
Our next receiver.
Oh, yeah, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I will be... Just watch. Imagine on what is it? So it's the 29th. So May 1st would be the... So on April 30th, let's say Kyle Pitts is passed on and he goes to like a team I really don't like. I'm going to come in here on that Friday and I'm going to be so upset. Anyways, there's a lot that's going to be talked about in this segment as we lead up to talking to Josh Houts, who comes on in the next segment. Right now, I want to cover our roundtable because we have our roundtable every day. I haven't been able to talk about it yet today, but I want to be able to cover our roundtable, and it's on a very serious topic. So our roundtable for this Wednesday is, excuse me, after listening to Ashley Solis describe her experience with Deshaun Watson, we now have 22 women filing civil lawsuits. Where do you stand with this case? What has changed in your point of view since the first case came forward? If you've been listening to me for a while now, and for those of you who have started to come in and listen recently, I thank you very much. But if you've been listening to me for a while, when I was on Saturdays from 1 to 2, when I would follow Austin after his show, and I would do my show for an hour there before Ethan eventually left and I took his spot here during the weekdays, I said when everything first started with Deshaun wanting out, that although I really like Tua, you absolutely have to go after Deshaun Watson if you have the chance. Then things changed. And of course, situations got very, very dark and things have become very upsetting and scary. And I am on the train of I like to believe before I accuse. And I know that we're a country of saying you're innocent until proven guilty, right? You're always supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Now, in the court of public opinion, that's completely false. That never happens. In the court of public opinion, things are going to sway one way, things are going to sway another. You can be gone within seconds. A snap of a finger, your entire livelihood